Hi, my name is Alton Walker from altonwalker.com, and I'm setting the pace, and I'm hoping you're well today. And I just basically want to speak about a few things, topics to address that's affecting our community. One of which is stop and search, as well as gun crime, knife crime, and any other relevant information that can further assist in reducing and most importantly solving the problems that's affecting most of us in the community. Now, if you're a young person that's listening to this, I'm hoping, whether you be a victim or someone who's actually carried out these crimes, that you will take in some of this information that can assist you, as well as the authorities that are out there, be it through police organisations or youth group organisations, and anybody else that's listening. I'm hoping the information that I impart and share will help to further solve some of the problems that we're facing. So the first thing I'm going to be speaking about is stop and search. Now, we know a lot of the ethnic minority people in the local community, especially young people, are stopped and searched. Now, there's actually nothing wrong with being stopped and searched, especially if you are suspect of committing a crime. But a lot of the times there are statistics that shows time and time again where young people are being stopped and searched for no apparent reason, just because either for the colour of their skin or for various different other reasons, you see. And as a person who has been stopped and searched as a youngster growing up as well, there are different ways in which I reacted, and I'm sure some of the youths out there react instead of responding, which is another, which is a major difference. We can respond to things and we can react to things. Now, when you react to things, it sends out a different type of signal. You don't get the type of response that you want when you react to things. But when you respond to things, which means you've taken the time out to evaluate the situation, reasoned it out in your head, and concluded the appropriate steps or response to take, then the desired result will be most certainly in your favor. So basically, when you are getting stopped for apparent reason, for no apparent reason as far as you're concerned, way in which you address a police person or police officer or police woman is simply to ask them a simple question: why am I being stopped? Now, some of us, when I say when we react, it might be a thing of a case where, why am I being stopped? Why are you stopping me? No, you can't stop me, blah. Some of the slang and terminology that some of us youth are using out there, and sometimes it creates a perception. Now, just because you speak slang or a different terminology from the police, it doesn't mean that they cannot understand you, but sometimes it's considered to be hostile, and therefore when you react in that way, because of what generally is the consequence as a result of that, what gauges that reaction, sometimes police, you're not perceived in the way in which you would like to be perceived. So if you're getting stopped, simply ask the question: why am I being stopped? No need to react, because you just remember, a police officer or someone who is in authority that you may not necessarily like or intimidated by, or have apprehension or fears as to why action is being taken against you, they are only doing their job. They are in a uniform, and don't get me wrong, sometimes someone in authority or in a uniform or in a high position can abuse that. So therefore, when you look at someone, don't just look at the uniform that they're wearing and just say, oh, that's a police officer. Remember, they are a human being like you, and you like them. So when you are addressing them, and if you are being stopped by a police officer or someone in authority, just ask them the simple question: why am I being stopped? No need to react and get up all hyperactive and start saying, because that may not help you out in the long run. So a simple question: why am I being stopped? And ask, excuse me, officer, can I help you? You see, because just remember, a policeman or policewoman, when you look at the word police just means to make sure that a crime doesn't occur. It has nothing to do with arresting people. To arrest somebody is to stop them from moving forward. Just like you hear of someone who has a cardiac arrest. Yeah, a cardiac arrest is basically, in simple terms, is a heart attack. So it's just the same thing. It's just to stop you from moving forward. To police some things, to make sure a crime doesn't occur. It has nothing to do with incarceration. And once you understand these words and understand, when you attain or take in certain information and you have a better understanding of things, then it will be a lot more clearer to you when you are being stopped. And there's certain basic things that you might not be someone who reads, but just ask someone for some advice. If you do read, that's even better. And just find out, your rights as a human being. Your rights. You have your rights. So don't think because I'm a young person just being stopped that, it's because of my age or because of the color of my skin, and whatever the reason may be, don't focus on the negative, just focus on the desired outcome. The desired outcome is, I do not want to be stopped and searched, or I do not want to be arrested for something that I haven't done. On the other hand, you have a lot of the knife crime that's being committed out there, which is a lot of another subject, as well as the gun crime that's out there as well. And a lot of it is due to pressure, or some of it is because maybe the pressure that you have. What are some of the pressures? I don't have money, I'm not working, I've been kicked out of school or expelled, and I just need to make money. Or a lot of the videos that we're seeing out there now, be it highly influenced from American television, and I'm not going to just label America as if America is their own fault, because we've got problems in our own backyard in England as well. But yes, we can say a lot of things that we have been exposed to on the television does play an influence in our local community, down to the way we speak, down to the way we dress, and some of the things that we do. So when we dress, some of us, we have our trousers. A lot of the youth, I notice now, and even some of the adults, even some of the famous rappers, I ain't going to name any names, but they wear their trousers halfway down their leg. And you see, and what that does is it creates a certain type of persona, yeah, that you're giving off. Because if you wear your trousers a certain way, you might have a handkerchief at the bottom. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this to label you in any way whatsoever. I'm just trying to illustrate or point out how you are being perceived when you're in the street. It might not, you can't just judge somebody by the clothes they wear. I know that, but then just think, sometimes the people do actually judge you on the clothes you wear. So sometimes they say there's different strokes for different folks. You don't always have to keep doing the same thing. As Albert Einstein once said, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, that's absolutely insane. Especially if if you're expecting a different result. If you're expecting a different result from doing the same thing over and over again and don't work, don't continue doing that. So there's different strokes for different folks. So you can actually, in certain situations, change the attire or clothing that you are wearing to get a better perception of yourself. You see, so these are some of the things that we need to address. And to think about, if you dress a certain way, when you're walking down the street, what that does is, when you are ready to put on, say, like a suit or a jacket like what I've got on, and then you start to when you start to walk, you won't be walking like as they call a distinguished gentleman, simply because the way how you've been walking for such a long time wearing that type of clothing, it'll be very hard to adjust back to walking properly, because it creates, it really lines up in your back. And dare I say it, you end up looking or walking like further down the evolutionary chart, like an animal. You see, so basically you might walk with like a hunch and like that, because of the way the trousers comes down the leg. You see, so try to change the way in which you are wearing clothes. I mean, we didn't wear clothing like that. In actuality, that clothing there, that people wear halfway down their trousers, it actually stems from people that's been in prison before, which is another story which I won't go into now. But again, it stems from prison. It stops a lot of the prisoners. Well, I'll quickly address it. Stop them from hanging themselves. What they used to do is they used to take the belts out of their trousers. And the reason why the prison guards take the belts off the trousers, because a lot of prisoners would commit suicide by hanging themselves. So therefore, the trousers would be halfway down the legs. Now the youth are glorifying that as if it's something good. So again, it's not a preach or put down on you in any way, shape, form or fashion. But it's just to say, these are some of the things that's creating the problems in our local community. Again,